We're done. Hello, everyone. Today is October 26th, and that's the community meeting for Contour. We have a very small amount of people in the call. So I see in the agenda for today, let's share that agenda. We have the 119.1 release today. And Steve Slocka, can you tell us about it?
Yeah, so we released 119 last week, or a week, 2 weeks ago, whenever that was. And someone found an issue with using the root namespaces flag. So part of what we did in 119 was introduce a new configuration CRD. And what that CRD does is it sort of replaces how we do configuration of Contour today. So today you've got a config map with a bunch of different flags that are sometimes overlapping with the config map with the flags. Some of them don't. So the idea of this was to have a central spot to clean all that up and have one place to define configuration. Part two, this is looking up the road, up the road or down the road, to manage Envoy, right? So we have this operator idea, and then the idea is to have Contour manage Envoy. So now having this central configuration bit, the idea is to be able to dynamically sort of update configuration and have Contour consume that without having to restart it by hand. We say all of that to say that there's pointers now in this configuration CRD. When I implemented it, I didn't check for the pointer. So if you set a root namespaces flag, you got an exception and Contour would crash. So Sanjay fixed that. So thank you, Sanjay, for taking care of that. So that's part one that's in this .1 release. The second thing that's in here is the when you had a retry policy, there's a spot for the number of retries to happen. So say a request comes into Envoy and it gets the upstream cluster returns, say, a 503 or some sort of error. You can have Envoy retry that request. Maybe something went wrong, just have it retry. And there's a count field in that retry policy. And what that count says is, hey, retry this many number of times. And by default, that's 1 in Envoy. We've had some folks ask, well, hey, I want to disable that retry and just let the error fail and don't try again. So the field will let you set it to 0, but the problem is that the field is not a pointer. So in the Go struct, when we process that field, we can't tell if either you set it to 0 or you just didn't set it at all. And in order to keep the API consistent in terms of our V1 guarantee, we now have you, if you want to disable that field or set it to 0 in a sense, you set -1 as the option. So that's here in this little description. So setting -1, we'll set it to 0. If you don't define it or you set it to 0, you're going to get Envoy's default of 1, which I know can be kind of confusing. But if you set it to any kind of value greater than 1, you'll get that value. So this is just a quick workaround to still meet the API contract and not break anyone who's maybe consuming the API structs. So all that is in 119.1. The operator got bumped as well, just because they have to stay step in step. So hopefully those all work for everyone now.
Great.
Coming up next, we're looking at the 1.20 release. I know Nick had some internal discussions on that on the maintainers list. We're going to work to put together that list of stuff. I think this is our first 3-month release. So usually we've released monthly. This will be the first one that won't be monthly.
And that's release. We have some major updates.
Hopefully.
Okay, good. And major deprecations or not?
No, it's we're just going from a 1-month to a 3-month release cycle. So there'll be more. So take the last 2 releases and put them together. That'll be what this one will be probably.
And to bring the topic again, are you gonna sign up for any virtual talks in KubeCon EU, folks? Because I plan to be on site, if possible, so we can do something together. Or
yeah, I think we should get a maintainers talk at least, for sure. I'm not sure if they're going to do remote sessions or not in terms of just regular talks or not. yeah, we should definitely be able to work out the maintainer update because we are a CNCF project.
Yeah, and the same question is for the KubeCon China. I think they sent out the maintainers invite for office hours. Are we gonna sign up for this one for KubeCon China? It's like beginning of December.
I don't know if we've done it before, but I don't know why we couldn't. Couldn't do it.
Okay, whenever the email comes, someone will pick it up and fill in the form. Because none of you have signed up for any talks in KubeCon China, right? Or at least I'm not aware of it. No? Okay.
No, I don't believe so. At least maybe Nick could even cover it because his time zone is probably a lot closer than ours.
Yeah.
To China. So
But
we can
maybe
sign him up because he's not here. We can sign him up for it. So.
Yeah, but okay, but maybe for the office hours we can do that. I think that the KubeCon China it will be good for my hours as well. Compared to the away, it was insane. So yeah, we'll see. Cool. And if next time you're gonna do the code walkthrough during the office hours, right? I wanna do a proper announcement on this one.
Yeah, we can do that. When's the next office hour? Is it not this Thursday, but the next Thursday?
Nah. Yeah.
The 4th, yeah, November 4th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think that will be very useful for many wannabe contributors, and yeah, just want to announce it prior the office hours so people can join and not to watch the recording, but rather ask questions live if they have any. It will be more useful for anyone. Anyone else to add something to that list of Sanjay, Steve, Chris? No? Okay. In that case, I think we can close for today.
Well, we have some status updates there to talk about.
Yeah. That's what I was asking. Sorry.
Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah. So I was on there first, I guess, so I can keep talking. So some folks asked some questions about, hey, how do we do, an OIDC auth flow with Contour? How do we do, a JOT token validation with users? So the answer today with Contour is using Envoy's external auth feature. So if you're not familiar, the external auth is based on, you tell Envoy, hey, there's a gRPC endpoint, and that's what is used for Envoy to do authentication. So a request comes in, Envoy will then redirect out to that external auth server. That server will then, understand whether they're valid or not based on whatever integration you're going to do, and then that returns back to Envoy a thumbs up or thumbs down, saying, yep, let them through, or no, 401 redirect or 403 redirect. So we have that today. We don't have any good examples of how to actually set up something. So if I want to use OIDC, I'm sort of on my own to figure this out. So I was working on some integrations that exist out in the industry. Istio has one that talks to the Envoy endpoints. I know OPA has one as well. I know another user reached out in the Contour Slack to say, I think he wrote one as well. And then we have one in a PR that we can work on. So we have a bunch of different ways we can implement auth. So hopefully I'm going to have shortly here some guides that will help folks at least walk through some examples of how to do this. And then you can tweak it on your own if you want to. That's all I have. Steve, we'll talk about some gateway stuff.
Yeah, just a quick update on what I've been working on. So we've got the main branch of Contour migrated to Gateway V1 Alpha 2, which basically means all the existing functionality was migrated. But we still have a backlog of functionality to build out. So that includes both some things that we hadn't gotten to yet from V1 Alpha 1, as well as some new functionality in V1 Alpha 2. So I've been just continuing to burn down the backlog there some. So just linked a couple of open PRs that I have here, just to give a sample of what I've been working on. So the first one is adding support for a redirect filter. So this is the the Gateway API way of returning a redirect for a particular route. And this is, I believe this is part of kind of the core conformance level for Gateway API. So it'll be good to get this in. And then the other one that I have open is for implementing reference policy. So this is a new CRD as part of Gateway V1 Alpha 2, and it basically allows kind of constrained cross namespace references. So the primary use case for this is that you have a route defined in one namespace that wants to use a service from another namespace as a backend. And so by default, cross namespace references are not allowed. But if you define a reference policy that basically says, routes from one particular namespace can reference backends from another namespace, then that reference is allowed. So I have a PR up for this. Seems to be working pretty well. So hopefully we can get both of these in for 120. And yeah, beyond that, I'll try and continue burning down a few more things in the backlog there for the next release.
And the last one is from Steve Sloka, I believe, the planning for 120 or?
Oh, I just added those links in there just in
okay.
case anyone was curious on what we were planning on getting in for 1.20. So there's a link to the project board and also the milestone. So yeah, if you have anything that you desperately need to have in Contour, we bring it up and we can try to get it planned for the 1.20 release.
Is there like kind of like Trello board integrations? I don't know. Just none of these views are helpful for users. I don't know how to get feedback from folks. Like Trello, you can have like a thumbs up and it'll filter things to the top that folks want. You can like +1 things. So if everyone really wants like the access log service, you know what I mean? They can all put their support into there, and then that tells folks, hey, we should do this first. I don't know.
Can
Yeah,
we
that
do
would be cool.
There's just not a good way to get feedback from users. I feel like this is us playing with this, and then I don't know how to get from the community. Hey, what do folks want? What do they think they're missing, or what do they want to improve on? It'd be good somehow get that. I don't know how to get that. It's probably the generic question everyone has a problem with. How do you get feedback from folks?
I know you can, this probably doesn't totally answer the question, but if you go to the issues view, you can sort based on reaction. So like you can see which issues have the most thumbs up. Of course, that only helps if, you're telling folks that they should thumbs up the issues that they're interested in. But yeah, if you do on the bottom there by like most reactions, do the thumbs up.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
You can sort it that way, but it's only as good as the input we get from folks who are interested in things.
Sure. Yeah. I just feel like the other board is so there's too much, like the Contour board, the project board, there's just so much going on. It's just hard to, because it puts like the issues and the PRs and everything all smashed. This one, yeah, all smashed together. It just doesn't give you a good feel for it. But again, maybe it's just me crying. So no big deal. There's a new board of this, I think, too, that we have access to, a new format we could try from GitHub.
Can you point a link to this one?
I think it's in there. If you click on like projects, again, I think we have access to it now. This thing, yeah.
The beta one?
Yeah. I'm not sure if they make a new one or, yeah, I might make a beta one, yeah. But I think it has a better view. It's more like a Trello Kanban kind of board thing. That I don't know if it's better or not. I just saw someone on Twitter posted it and it's like, yeah, it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I would be up for experimenting with it because I will second that the current board that we have does not do a lot for me, and so I don't look at it very much. It's not, there's too much going on, and like the 120 release, for example, has a combination of things that we sort of plan to do as well as things that we've already done, and so it ends up just being too busy. And I primarily look at the milestone tag just in the issues list to kind of see what to work on.
Yeah.
So yeah, anyway, I'd definitely be up for experimenting with the new format and see if that works better for us.
Yeah. I'm gonna play with that then, or if you all want to get together and do some release planning.
And
Yeah.
question from my side: who normally manages that board? Is that Alex? Is a PM of the whole thing, or everyone who contributes to this one?
I think it's sort of a combination of all of us. I mean, Alex definitely moves stuff around here. You know, I think as contributors or maintainers are working on things, we try and move things into the appropriate pipelines, but it's a little bit, yeah, sort of distributed management of it. And it's unfortunate that there's no automation. Like I would like these columns to auto populate based on like the milestone tag, so that if you tagged something with the 120 milestone, it automatically dropped it into the 120 pipeline here. Right now it's kind of double entry to maintain both of those things.
Can we address that to Alex, maybe, to figure out a way to normalize this one? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't think, you know, I don't think GitHub project boards support it very well. Like maybe you could do it with some custom GitHub actions, but then that becomes a whole thing you have to maintain in and of itself. So we can definitely raise it with Alex, I guess, but yeah, I don't know how much we can do with the current tech.
Yeah, but I mean, if we have like a clear requirements or wish what we need, and you in particular folks want to have it from this board, maybe we can address that to Alex and see if he can come up with something. I can try to drive this one with him. For example, what doesn't work right now from this board, and what we would like to have in the new one, or what we can improve in the process of managing that board and to be useful for you.
Here's what's neat. If you go back to the projects tab, Orlin,
Yeah.
and then say make a new project, and then do the bottom one. This one I'm not sure I'll play that one, but if you go to the bottom one, under the template, if you click on the template down in the middle, drop down, there's one that says automated Kanban. It says built-in triggers to automatically move issues. I'm not sure if that may not link the issues milestone though. Yeah, I don't know.
I feel like the way these are designed though, they're not intended to be like things that live on indefinitely, right? It's like you define a new project board for the next release.
Gotcha.
And then you'd have, you know, within that, you'd have like to do, in progress, and done. And then when the release is done, you close that project board and create a new one.
Mm-hmm.
That's sort of the feel that I get from GitHub as far as how they're intended to be used, which is not the way that we're currently using it. But
yeah, we could though. Now that we're going to these 3-month releases, maybe that would make sense to make 4 a year, you know, ish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that idea. If we find a good template and like automation stuff that we like and can duplicate it many times, then it's not a bad idea. It'll keep things kind of self-contained. And maybe we could even keep a longer one running around for longer term issues. I don't know. Something like that. But
yeah, you could always have one that's just kind of the backlog project that does have a couple of prioritized lanes of things.
yeah, it might be a good thing to experiment with in a little pairing session, or even in an office hours or something together, if we want to do that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So I'll try to get Alex next time, or maybe next time office hours won't be enough for all the topics that we have. But I'll try to brief him on what we just discussed, and so maybe he has some idea how to do that. I don't know. All right. Anyone else? Any other topics? Nope.
I think that's all.
Just one thing. Do we know if the folks from Red Hat are gonna be active? Anyone in contact with them? Mikaya and I'm sorry, I forget the name of the other engineer.
I don't know. I think Nick spoke with Micaiah before, so I think they're just busy with some other things. So I think they should come. They think they're just busy with stuff right now. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't spoken with any of them. Nick has though, I believe.
Okay. Yeah, because I think we got their engagement. Like, yeah, we're gonna participate, but haven't seen them for the last few times. So I was just curious if there was something that I missed, maybe, or something along the way, the conversations with them. Okay, thank you, and we can close and talk to you next time then. Bye.
Sounds good. Take care. All.
Yeah.
Bye.